Privacy Week 2022, and we at the National Cybersecurity Alliance will share our plans for the campaign and ways that you can run your own campaign and how you can get involved in the activities. Before we get started, please note that this webinar is being recorded. It will be available on our website, StaySafeOnline.org by tomorrow, and slides will be available to download as well. If you have questions at any time, please submit them to the Q&A box. We'll try to answer as many questions as we can at the end of the presentation. And if we can't get to it, we'll also provide our contact information at the end, so you can always email us with any questions. So let's get started. My name is Jennifer Cook. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at the National Cybersecurity Alliance, and I'm joined by my colleague, Leah Delancey, our Programs and Events Manager. So just a little bit about us. The National Cybersecurity Alliance is a nonprofit organization on a mission to create a more secure, interconnected world. We advocate for the safe use of all technology and educate everyone on how to best protect themselves, their families, and their organizations from cybercrime. We primarily create strong partnerships between the public and the private sector to amplify our messages and to foster a greater digital good. And in addition to Data Privacy Week, our core efforts, which you can see on the screen, include Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which we co-lead with CISA every October. It's a collaborative effort between government and industry to ensure that everyone has the resources they need to stay safer and more secure online. We also run Cyber Secure My Business, which is a national program helping small and medium-sized businesses learn to be safer and more secure online and protect their customers' data. The program consists of a series of workshops and webinars based on the NIST cybersecurity framework. And we also are the co-founders of Identity Management Day, along with the Identity Defined Security Alliance, which will be on April 12th of this year. So stay tuned on more information on that. So about Data Privacy Week, in case this is your first time getting involved, here's a bit of background. So 2022 will actually be the first annual Data Privacy Week campaign. Prior to this year, we've always run Data Privacy Day in the United States and Canada, but data privacy has become such a major concern for both individuals and for businesses that one day no longer felt like enough time to cover this topic. So Data Privacy Day actually began in 2008 as an extension of the Data Protection Day celebration in Europe. This Data Protection Day every January 28th commemorates the signing of Convention 108, which was the first legally binding international treaty dealing with privacy and data protection. So the objective of our Data Privacy Week campaign is to educate individuals on how their information is collected, shared, and used on the internet and how to protect it. We also look to teach businesses, particularly small and medium-sized businesses with fewer resources, the importance of respecting their customers' privacy, being transparent about their collection processes, and enabling trust. So this year, for 2022, we're excited to talk to you about some of the new themes and topics we're focusing on in our campaign. For individuals, we've split up the themes into two groups, one message for individuals and one for businesses. For individuals, the message is keep it private. Everything you do online generates data. There's data about your activities, your behaviors, your interests. There's personal data like your social security number and your driver's license number. There's data about the physical you, like health data. And with all of this, it's easy to feel lack of control over the information collected about you. However, there are steps you can take to learn about the types of data you're generating online and how it's collected, shared, and used by businesses. Consumers are becoming increasingly concerned with data privacy, and companies are realizing this and responding. We encourage consumers to be selective about who they choose to do business with and understand the value of their data. We've created some basic privacy tips to help individuals manage their personal information and make informed decisions about who receives their data. So these tips include understanding the privacy and convenience trade-off, managing your privacy, and protecting your data. And I'll go through each of these messages. So the privacy and convenience trade-off, as we all know, many accounts ask for access to personal information such as our geographic location, our contacts list, our photo albums, before we even use their services. This personal information has tremendous value to businesses and allows many to offer their services at little to no cost to their customers. So with this in mind, we encourage everyone to make informed decisions about whether or not to share their data with certain businesses by considering the amount of personal information those businesses are asking for and weighing it against the benefits you may receive in return. Be thoughtful about who gets that information and wary of apps or services that require access to information that you feel is not required or relevant to the service that they're offering. It's also important to delete any unused apps on your internet connected devices and to keep others secure by performing updates. So once you've decided to use an app or set up a new account, we encourage everyone to put privacy and security first by checking those settings on all accounts, not just your bank account or email, but whether it's a retail account, a social media account. Get familiar with those settings and set them to your comfort level. Each device will have different features to limit how and with whom you share information. We have a page on our website. The link is on the screen and will be sent out in the slides after this presentation. This manager settings page has direct links to dozens of popular websites and apps, direct links to the privacy settings, so you can familiarize yourself with those settings and set them to your comfort level. And lastly, protect your data. Data privacy and data security go hand in hand. Keep your data secure by creating long, unique passwords or passphrases and storing them in a password manager. Also add another layer of security by enabling multi-factor authentication wherever possible, and especially on accounts with sensitive information. Actually, multi-factor authentication has been found to block 99.9% of automated attacks when enabled, and can ensure your data is protected even in the event of a data breach. So to help you get started, we recommend doing daily 5-minute privacy checkups during Data Privacy Week. Chances are you have dozens of accounts, so the idea of managing your settings on each one might be a little overwhelming. So we are going to break it down day by day. You can change the schedule to fit, what accounts you have, but perhaps, Monday, starting with your social media accounts, email accounts on Tuesday, checking your phone, laptop, tablet, device settings the next day, and also not forgetting about web browsers and other miscellaneous apps that you might have, whether it's a fitness tracker or a retail account, anything that you have downloaded onto your devices. Many will have some privacy and security settings, and if they don't, then it's up to you to decide if you're still comfortable having that application on your device. Also on our manager privacy settings page, it's a great way to get started. We break it out by category, and if there's any information that's missing on there, any apps that you use that you're looking for more information about their privacy or security, let us know. We'll provide our email at the end of the presentation, and feel free to email us if there's anything missing from that page. So for organizations, we talk about a few different topics, but our overall theme for organizations is respect privacy. According to the Pew Research Center, 79% of US adults reported being concerned about the way their data is being used by companies. So respecting consumers' privacy is a smart strategy for inspiring trust and enhancing reputation and growth in your business. Be open and honest about how you collect, use, and share customers' personal information. Think about how the consumer may expect their data to be used, and design settings to protect their information by default. We also encourage all organizations to communicate clearly and concisely to the public about what privacy means to them, and the steps that they take to achieve and maintain privacy. So to help with this, our tips for businesses include conducting a privacy assessment, adopting a framework, and educating employees. For conducting an assessment, it's an important start to building a culture of privacy in your organization. Whether you operate locally, nationally, or globally, understand which privacy laws and regulations apply to your business. Make sure you follow reasonable security measures to keep individuals' personal information safe from inappropriate and unauthorized access. And make sure the personal data you collect is processed in a fair manner and only collected for relevant and legitimate purposes. Also, as you conduct your assessment, don't forget to maintain oversight of partners and vendors as well. If someone provides a service on your behalf, you are also responsible for how they collect and use your customers' personal information. Along with this, we recommend everybody research and adopt a privacy framework. This can help you manage risk and create a culture of privacy in your organization by building privacy into your business. We've listed 3 frameworks on here where you can get started. We recommend checking them out and finding one that best fits your business. So these can provide great guidelines for how to, conduct your assessments, how to know if how to collect personal information in a respectful way. And lastly, we also recommend educating your employees of their and your organization's obligations to protecting personal information. Educate employees on your company's privacy policy and teach new employees about their role in privacy culture during the onboarding process. Engage staff by asking them to consider how privacy and data security applies to the work they do on a daily basis. But also better security and privacy behaviors at home will translate to better security and privacy practices at work. So teach employees how to update their privacy and security settings on both work and personal accounts. So before we jump in to how to get involved, just a note about the themes. We hope you'll follow along with us as we explore these topics. They'll certainly be in a lot of the materials that we've published in our toolkit and will publish ahead of Data Privacy Week. But we also encourage you to incorporate other topics that are relevant to your organization. Overall, though, we generally advise against using, doom and gloom messaging, and feel it's been more effective for us as an organization and for other organizations that we've seen to use empowering, actionable messages and show people that managing their privacy and managing their security isn't overwhelming and doesn't have to be. So what can you do to get involved in Data Privacy Week? If you've participated in Data Privacy Day before, or if you're familiar with our Cybersecurity Awareness Month campaign, you've probably participated as a champion. But if this is your first time, I'll give some background. The Champions program is a way to officially show your support for data privacy awareness and education during January and align your organization with our campaign. Champions represent those dedicated to empowering individuals and encouraging businesses to respect privacy. It's completely free to sign up and open to both individuals and businesses and organizations of all kinds. Please know, even if you signed up last year or in previous years, you do have to re-register each year to receive new materials, as we do update those materials each year. So all champions receive a toolkit to guide and assist in the planning and executing of a campaign. Many of these are special materials reserved exclusively for registered champions, which you can see on the slide here. And I'll review each of these in a moment. Organizations that register will also have their name, the company name listed on our website, StaySafeOnline.org. And champions are among the first to receive updates on Data Privacy Week news, events, and new materials as well. So looking a bit closer at these resources, this year's toolkit includes a PDF guide to Data Privacy Week 2022. It includes research from other organizations that you can reference, as well as some facts and figures that we've pulled out. There's also a lot of great ideas for implementing your own activities and events, in addition to the ones we'll review on this webinar. Champions also receive a sample press release to announce your support of Data Privacy Week to employees and customers. We have pre-written articles that you can make your own or post directly to your blog or intranet site at work. We have a tip sheet on how to help employees be privacy aware and a tip sheet for parents on raising privacy aware kids. We have email copy to send internally or externally to either employees or customers. And we've created dozens of social media graphics and posts that you can use on your social media platforms. We have a branded email signature, a video call background, and posters. And you'll also receive access to different versions of the new Data Privacy Week logo and special iterations for champions as well. You do not need our permission to use these logos or any of these materials, and we encourage you to include them in your Data Privacy Week materials, websites, social media posts. You can take them as is, you can customize them and make them your own, or pick and choose, what you want to use. And now I'll turn it over to Leah to review some other great ways to get involved in the campaign and conduct your own activities.
Thank you, Jen, and thanks everyone for joining us today to learn more about Data Privacy Week. So let's talk about bringing the campaign to your office. One easy way to do this is by using the Data Privacy Week logos and the champion badges that you can find in your toolkit. You can place those on your organization's internal website to get your employees to start thinking more about data privacy. You can also post those on your external websites just to demonstrate your support of the campaign. You can send out a company email or newsletter announcement about the week. You can outline your organization and how it'll be involved and highlight those themes we discussed earlier. There will be a sample email toolkit. There will be a sample email template in your toolkit that can be customized to your specific needs. So by teaching your employees about privacy at your organization and their role in that, you'll start to create a culture of privacy, and privacy is good for business. You can check out our 5 ways to help employees be privacy aware tip sheet for help. And I'm sure you've guessed by now that this will also be in your toolkit. So you can print that out and you can hang it up in your common areas at the office. Next slide, please. So another thing we've seen is organizations working with their leadership to issue an official proclamation to show your organization's support of Data Privacy Week. Proclamations should, again, highlight what your company does to respect privacy. Issuing a company promotion is something we've seen a lot of organizations do in the past. Companies can promote their goods and services throughout the month of January to highlight Data Privacy Week. So maybe opening up free trials throughout January. This can spread your brand awareness, and it spreads awareness for an important cause. We have a sample press release already made for you in our magical toolkit that we keep talking about. Again, this is something you can customize to your own needs. Finally, distributing data privacy materials and tip sheets. We have plenty of non-proprietary resources available to download and print in our resource library. If you check out StaySafeOnline.org, you'll see a link to our resource library with a lot of materials for your use. Next slide, please. So what can you do at home? You can sign up for our newsletter to receive regular online safety news and resources. Just having conversations with your kids about protecting personal information and how they can stay safe online, that can go a long way. You can get started with our privacy tips for parents toolkit or tip sheet, which again is on our website. Holding a family tech talk is a great thing to do. You can learn from each other and discuss how each family member has their own role in protecting devices and information. And then sending out emails or text messages to friends and families to share the news that January 24th to 28th is Data Privacy Week. Encourage them to visit StaySafeOnline.org for tips and for more free resources. And lastly here, test your knowledge. Check your online safety knowledge by taking a privacy or a security quiz. A great place to get started is the National Privacy Test and Google Phishing Quiz. Next slide, please. So at school and in your community, you can do a couple things. You can include information about the month in your newsletter. You can highlight keep it private and some of the other key messages that we'll have in your toolkit. You can use information from the Data Privacy Week About page in your email. So if you go to StaySafeOnline.org, we have a whole section on Data Privacy Week. Administrators or community leaders should post the Data Privacy Week logo and the champion badge on the website to spread the word about Data Privacy Week and the importance of data privacy. Any of the Data Privacy Week materials can be printed out and displayed in areas where community members or students are spending time online. And then encouraging the community members and students to attend Data Privacy Week events. We'll get into this a little later, but the National Cybersecurity Alliance posts a community calendar, and we have some great events going on through Data Privacy Week that we're hosting, and also ones that the community is sharing. So again, you can post the logo on your external or internal websites and talk to your students or community members about data privacy. At the National Cybersecurity Alliance, we know that these topics can sound scary. They can be hard for a teacher to explain and difficult for a student to understand, but we create all of our materials with that in mind. Our toolkit and our messages break down these often confusing concepts, and we make them digestible. So you and your students or community members will walk away from those resources, understanding them better and knowing that what they can do to keep their information a bit safer. Next slide, please. So on social media, this is a really easy way to get involved in the campaign, and it can go a long way. You can post privacy tips and reminders about Data Privacy Week on your social networks. Make sure to use the hashtag Data Privacy Week on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any other social media site so that you can connect and see what other people are saying. Follow the National Cybersecurity Alliance. We have all the social media accounts, so follow us to receive the latest online safety news and resources. And download and share our sample social media posts leading up to and throughout the month on social media. You can share them all, or you can customize them to your needs and to your interests. Another thing we like to see is people or organizations blogging about data privacy in January, choosing any topic that appeals to you or highlighting one of the Data Privacy Week calls to action. You can share that link with us on Twitter at StaySafeOnline, and we can retweet it or like it for you. And we have Data Privacy Week articles available for you to repost and share and customize if you'd like. On January 27th, we'll have a Twitter chat. So we'll be asking the community some questions and sharing tips about data privacy. So we'd love to see you all join us for that. Next slide, please. Finally, a great way to jump right into this campaign is by attending events. So connecting with peers and learning from experts will catch you up on trending topics in data privacy. As I mentioned a bit earlier, we have a community calendar on our website, which is pictured on this slide. If you're hosting an event, you can even submit it to info@StaySafeOnline.org, and we can share it here with our community. I do want to highlight our events that we're hosting that are coming up. So on January 25th, we'll have a webinar for small and medium-sized businesses. The Twitter chat that I mentioned earlier will take place on January 27th. If you'd like to see the Twitter chat questions in advance, you can reach out to Jen, who spoke earlier. We also have some sponsorship opportunities available for these events, so please contact Jen again if you're interested in learning more about those. Next slide, please. Finally, our annual Data Privacy Week event that we host with LinkedIn will be on Wednesday, January 26th. You can learn more about that at the link on the screen, and more information will be coming soon, so stay tuned. But I highly recommend joining this one. It'll convene data privacy experts from industry, government, academia, and nonprofit for keynotes and discussions on current topics in data privacy. We hope to see you all there. And now I'll turn it back over to Jen.
Great, thank you so much, Leah. And before we get to Q&A, we wanted to share some additional resources that are available. So as we've talked about, our Data Privacy Week page contains a lot of the items we've mentioned today, and we'll post our events and updates there as well. We also recommend checking out the resources from the Federal Trade Commission, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, as well as the International Association of Privacy Professionals, and all those links are on the screen here. And as you're doing your privacy checkups and your research, we recommend checking out Consumer Reports and Mozilla's Privacy Not Included Guide. for insights into the privacy and security features of specific products. So at the National Cybersecurity Alliance, we don't review or recommend specific products or services, but these are great resources for if you're looking to consider privacy and security before purchasing a new device. So if you want to learn more about us or get in touch, please check out our website, StaySafeOnline.org. Our social media profiles are also listed on the screen, where we'll frequently be posting updates before and during Data Privacy Week. And our contact email is on the slide as well, info@StaySafeOnline.org. So if you have any questions at all or just want to let us know what you're doing for Data Privacy Week, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. So now we'll open it up to any questions. I see there's a lot in the Q&A box already. So if you haven't posted your question yet, please put it in there. I've seen some questions about if the Champions program is available to anybody outside the US, and the answer is yes, absolutely. We have Champions register from, I believe last year, Champions registered from over 50 different countries. So that is absolutely, absolutely available. Let's see. So there's a question here. If you're signed up as a champion for prior years, will your name or company be automatically carried forward to 2022? No, so we do ask champions to re-register each year. So if you signed up last year, your name will not automatically be listed on our website. In 2022, we do ask you to sign up again on and fill out our form. We have a question here about what we have in place to determine if a cyber attack is taking place or a social attack. So for that, we recommend checking out resources from the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. They have a lot of great resources for organizations on what to do if you're the victim of an attack, and also how to prevent future attacks and mitigate those risks as well. There's a lot of great experts there that you can talk to. There's a question here about any events planned for large global employers. So we recommend everybody attend our January 26th event co-hosted with LinkedIn. We'll have a number of industry leaders and government leaders in this space that I think will be really relevant towards large global employers. But if you have an event that you're planning, please feel free to send it over to us and we will add it to our community calendar.
Jen, we're getting some questions about becoming a champion and when the names will be posted for 2022. So right now, if you go to our website, the 2021 champion names are posted. But starting on Friday, we will be posting the 2022 champions. So if you signed up for this campaign, you should show up on Friday. The ones that are on the page right now are from last year's campaign. And if you have signed up and you have not received your toolkit yet, please email us at info@StaySafeOnline.org. Our toolkits should go out right after you sign up this year. So if you signed up and you haven't gotten it yet, please let us know and we'll make sure you get one.
Thanks, Leah. We have a few questions about the multi-factor authentication stat in our presentation. Leah, if you could find that and post that in the chat, that would be great. If not, we will email out the source in our follow-up email after this presentation. We also have a question about any specific resources in the toolkit for K-12 education. So we do recommend checking out the privacy tips for parents on raising privacy savvy kids. Even though it says parents on there, it does include advice for talking to kids about privacy and cybersecurity. And through all of our messages and resources too, we try to keep the messages, simple enough that anybody, no matter, their age or background in technology will be able to understand and implement in their daily lives. So we have a question here. If we have any tips or advice for obtaining buy-in from leadership about the importance of privacy and security. I recommend starting in the PDF toolkit. We have links to a lot of stats and research that have explored the impact of privacy and data breaches on organizations, and just showing how that affects a company's reputation, how that affects the trust they've built with their customers. So I think it's very important to show that to leadership. And it also, in those stats, talks about, how many other companies are prioritizing privacy and security as well. I also think it's important just to show, the number of large-scale, high-profile data breaches that we've seen just in the last year. They're getting, bigger and bigger, and, certainly no one is immune from them, no matter your company size. I think people are starting to realize that this can happen to anyone, and it's important to explain that to leadership as well. Leah, are there any other questions in here that I've missed?
No, I did want to highlight a couple people are saying that their toolkits went to junk mail. So please check your junk mail if the toolkit hasn't gone to you yet. And this recording will be sent out to all registrants, and our slides and recording will also be on StaySafeOnline.org.
And I see we also have a question in here about translations of the materials. So unfortunately, we do not have translations of our toolkit materials, but I do recommend, again, going to the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency website, and we can actually include a link to their translated materials as well. They've translated a lot of tip sheets on privacy and security into, I believe, Spanish, French, Arabic, Portuguese, and a few other languages as well. So we'll be sure to include those.
So if I see Leanne's question in the chat. So our October Cybersecurity Awareness Month Champion program is separate from this Data Privacy Week program. So you do need to sign up for this Champion program if you'd like a Data Privacy Week toolkit. And signups are still going on. They'll be going on until late January.
And also we've had some questions about our January 26th events. So all of our events are available for anybody to register. They're completely free. For the January 26th event, we'll come out with an agenda and a list of speakers soon. So I think it'll be a really great event for both those that work in privacy and have a background in privacy, but we'll also be talking about the privacy implications to society, to diversity and inclusion, to low-income communities. So there will be a lot of very interesting sessions that I think, general, end users and company employees will find it interesting. Let's see, we have some comment about attacks coming through social networking, phone systems, email systems. So definitely through the resources on our website, we talk a lot about, kind of securing everything, all of your, not just your devices, but being prepared everywhere. You can receive phishing attempts and scams on your phone, you know, through not just through email, but through texts and through all of your systems. So through our materials, we talk about taking that holistic view of security and privacy. Great. So I think we will wrap up there. Thank you all so much for attending this session. Again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email us at info@StaySafeOnline.org. I also just want to take a moment to thank our sponsors of Data Privacy Week, NortonLifeLock and Terra Nova Security. Thank you all again so much for attending this event. We'll send out the slides and the recording, as well as the links that we mentioned shortly afterwards. Thank you all and have a great afternoon.